With patch 1.14 being released today, as well as the long wait time involved for it, and the December roadmap, people are asking what's happening with Stalker 2. What about the A-Life? What about the memory leak in Rostok? Well, that one was seemingly addressed. For those of you wanting a major patch, you're going to have to wait for the next one, as Mullet himself said. As for what 1.14 has, I'll tell you now. It's fixed crashes and freezes on Shader's compilation, fixed the memory leak occurring at Rostok, fixed performance degradation when shooting or aiming on saves with long playtime, implemented fixes that should solve the problem causing saves to be lost on Xbox, and it also fixed a random crash related to UI animations. And now, for people that actually play the game and care about its future, what about the A-Life? What about the multiplayer? What about the spam? Whenever you get to a higher level, and then all the stalkers in the area around you suddenly just are wearing exosuits because you managed to pick up an exosuit. It does seem like the shader compilation is a pretty big problem, but hey, at least the memory leak in Rostok, that's fixed. Rostok is actually playable now. But what about more hotkeys and customizations? For example, being able to change the headlamp key or turning off auto lean whenever you go around a corner. That'd be nice too. And again, what about the December roadmap we were promised? That should have came out in December. What was the point of saying this shit if you're just not gonna do it? It's already the end of January and we're still not having the roadmap. We don't. It's not even. It's not even fucking about the roadmap at this point, dude. It's just more about the fact that we want to know what's going on, where the future of the game is. How GSC is going to handle things going forward. There's not really any transparency going forward here. They're just sort of releasing shit and saying, this is what you're getting. You're going to have to wait until the next patch. We're going to work on this, this, and this. Rest assured, we will do something about it. Trust us. We will work on it. And what about after Stalker 2 anyway? It should only be for a few years, and then they should move on to their next project, whether it be Cossacks or whatever else they have going on. They're not that big of a game studio to begin with, so it just seems to me they shouldn't have that many projects. And if Stalker 2 is the bigger success than they're anticipating, then they should have money to I don't know, continue their IP maybe. Of course, I really shouldn't say shit about it because they were planning a TV show, and there's also the millions of fucking books. So there's definitely potential there. There's definitely like a market. So it's really just up to GSC to supply that demand. We're supposed to be getting this DLC sometime, but we really don't know about that. See, because if we had the roadmap, we would know when we'd be getting the DLC, or when they'd say we'd get the DLC. We'd know about the multiplayer, we'd know about the DLC. I just, if you paid over $100 for this game, you'd probably be saying, oh, well, what about the rest of the stuff I paid for? When's that happening? There's only so much time you should give someone before they run out, okay? They've gotten some leeway here, but I mean, they've released the game. They've begun patching it. They've done pretty good with their patches so far. I don't know if waiting a month for a hotfix is really the best practice, but I'm not a game studio. I'm just a fucking idiot. But I mean, come on, dude. Although I guess I should temper my expectations. This is, after all, coming from the studio that promised that the player base could write themselves into Stalker 2. And then there was the whole NFT thing back when NFTs had their 3 days of popularity before dying once again. People are always going to be fucking stupid, I swear. One of the questions I've just seen is, why would anyone still be playing over just coming back in a few years when the game is, more patched, more stable, that sort of thing? It makes sense. Just wait. And aside from the celebrities, the fucking YouTubers and streamers that complete the game in less than 24 hours just to say that they were the first to put out their video about it, There's a good group of hardcore gamers too that will play the game, but I mean, for the most part, if you just take it slow and steady, you won't have to really encounter these bugs to begin with. I remember way back whenever people were saying that you couldn't even make it halfway past the story to fucking continue the game. It would soft lock you and shit, and they fixed that. So I mean, if you just if you give it some time, temper your expectations, and come back, you should be fine. I understand, waiting fucking literal years of your life for a game that might have never even come out to begin with, and the only real course is to wait or suffer through it. Well, it's a tough choice, right? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to play a buggy game that doesn't feel optimized. It doesn't have many of the features that were promised upon release. And that's okay, What's not okay is the lack of transparency, the lack of. I don't know, man. Just. They could handle it so much better than they are. Just go into Photoshop, go into MS Paint, go into fucking Notepad, and just write out a few lines. Say get together with your product quality team or whatever the fuck, quality assurance, whoever. Say, okay, we're gonna write a few lines here. We're gonna nail in some dates. Okay, we're gonna have some deadlines, and for these deadlines, we're going to say we want this, this, and this done by these deadlines. And guess what? Since they're already doing this for their job, like for GSC, they're doing this for GSC. They can take that, what they've worked on internally. They can put on some graphics, like, release a new image or some shit like a marketing thing. They can take that and they can release it. So there's not even really any out of the way work done. Like nobody had to they should be writing this shit down anyway, and they can fucking release it. But no, it takes at least 2 months, maybe even 3 in the making. I don't remember when they originally posted about a December roadmap. It was before December, I know that. 2 or 3 months for that, okay? Think about it. It shouldn't take more than maybe 30 minutes, an hour, a couple hours, a day, a week. Should it take 4 weeks? Should it take 2 months? Come on, dude. There's only so much you should fucking give them, and if you give them an inch, they'll take a fucking mile. We're upset because we care about the game. We care about the franchise and the future of said franchise. So, to see all these wrong choices and just, I don't know, man, abstinence, I just, we can try. For God's sake, I know we can fucking try.